because it was that smooth.
I always knew there was something weird about you, Dom.
There's a lot weird about me.
I hope you do not show up to the racetrack in your tutu
No, I don't have one.
anymore.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty real now.
Oh, geez. It's one of those things that we'd love to.
I know you might like to see that, but it isn't going to happen, Joel.
No, ain't gonna happen at all.
Well, what are you
what's
tentatively
going?
looking at now?
I'm trying to figure out what Corey's talking about.
Let's take a look.
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about here. He keeps sending me these notes, and I don't understand what he's saying. But I did want to throw out from Moxie Media Promotions, all of us here at Northwest Dirt News, a congratulations to Colin Weinbarger and his girlfriend Audrey. They are officially parents
Nice.
as of approximately an hour ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Have a healthy, happy little baby girl up there in Portland. Want to reach out to them and say congratulations. And
Oh, here's what Corey's talking about. He's watching the Olympics, head first luge. I may have found my next hobby.
what?
Yeah.
Corey's talking about luge being his next hobby.
Head first luge.
Head first luge.
I may have found my next hobby. This stuff is cool. Yeah. Okay.
I don't
On to the
understand.
next subject.
I'm trying to figure out what. No, it's the other one.
Let's see what Dad has to say here.
When you're missing your main guy here that's always got bringing in the content,
Mm-hmm.
and then he bows out sick and doesn't give you his note stream,
I know.
you're always sitting there going, "What are you talking about, Corey? Where are we at? What are we doing?"
Yeah, well, we had a different agenda planned tonight, but
It happens.
yeah.
Have you watched any of the races down in Arizona or Volusia?
No.
You haven't.
No.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. You get a quick peek. You got to jump on and watch some of the highlight reels from Hunter Marriott and those guys driving down Arizona. I know Bryson's down there and Kevin Roberts. Colin was down there for a couple of days, and it's they've had some really good, hard, intense racing down in Arizona.
I did see a picture of a few cars on the Facebook, but I didn't. I haven't actually watched any of the races.
You haven't?
No.
What's up with that?
I'm working.
Dude, you need to stop working so much and watch some racing. It's almost race season. You gotta get jacked up about this.
I am, but I want my truck done too.
Mm-hmm.
I want my truck done, then my car, and everything will be fine.
This is true.
And you can't get it without doing some hard work.
Yep. Ricky Thornton ended up winning 2 nights ago with Hunter Marriott in second, and Bryson James ended up running 9th that night, which is a good run for Bryson.
Yeah, he had a really good run with some big names there. That was pretty neat.
Well, yeah, you start talking Ricky Thornton Jr., Hunter Marriott, both the Gaylord brothers out of Lakewood, Colorado were in that. Who else? Bryson ended up starting in the 11th position. Oh, come on now. I'm trying to find my notes on everything here.
You got something beeping over there?
Somebody just blowing me up.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out everything else out tonight. And that was the night that I believe Bryson did win the show. Or, win his heat race that night.
Very nice.
It's a great time down there in Arizona. I wish I had had more time to watch those races. I've been watching Volusia a little bit more because I had an assignment from the boss man. I had to watch Volusia, and well, I'll tell you right now, I failed at watching Volusia because I've been working so much, and unfortunately, my replay pass ran out.
Oh no. Yeah, that makes it tough.
It does. They ran Volusia on Monday night, and in the late models, any surprise Superman Jonathan Davenport won on Monday night?
No, that doesn't shock
The guy, with Rumley, even without the device, as Rumley calls it, the device.
Yeah.
You've got that guy in that car, and Have you ever met him?
I think I've met him once. I didn't really talk to him. It was just through mutual friends that I had met him.
He's a very stand-up guy.
Mhm.
I mean, I talked to him a little bit when I was in North Carolina, just, hey, how's it going, whatnot, and how do you like your car? And he was actually in a Rocket at that point in time. He switched into a Longhorn the next week, actually the second night, the night after I talked to him.
Nice.
And, just the way he was describing, I feel, it's a great car. And then he just started touching on a few things. I was like, okay, I can understand why everybody wants him to drive for him, because he sits there and he's so articulate about how he talks about the car.
Yeah.
And then he realized I was just some fan. And then he goes, oh, wait, I'm trying to sell a car here. It's all good.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. And then Tim McCready ended up winning the late models on Wednesday night, and he did set a track record at Volusia that night. And I'll tell you what, before we leave tonight, I will show you that lap, because it was just bad fast.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
You have those laps, and Corey remembers this from record night when we had pretty much every record in qualifying shattered at Willamette Speedway, where you can just watch a lap and go,
it looks fast.
That's fast.
Yeah.
That's fast. I mean, Jeremy Means, he sits up in the flag stand every week, and he can sit there and look down at him going, he can radio back to Corey in the tower, and he'll sit there and be like, hey, grab the record book because it's going to be close tonight. And just watching those laps, you watch those records fall, and you're a part of history.
Yeah.
You can sit there and go, I watched that happen.
Yeah. I remember being up in the tower with Corey, and he goes, I think that's a record. And he just almost starts shaking the excitement that comes through, and he checks and double checks, and that's probably one of the, I can tell the enthusiasm in his voice. It just makes him so happy to be able to announce that to the people. And that's really one of the reasons I like getting into this. You could just see how you touch people, and, it's neat.
You get into it because, I mean, I've been there for some of those events where people get their big win of their breakthrough win, or you have that big event that happens with them, and being part of those shows and the excitement that you feel as the announcer from the booth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you felt that energy in Bakersfield when Colin Weinbarger won the modifieds.
Yeah, and especially when our hometown guys, it was neat.
And then, the excitement we felt with other people. But what do we have going on here? We've got a caller coming in on the Jetstream Aqua Massage call-in line from California. Welcome to Northwest Dirt News, caller. Who's this?
Hey, this is Moxie Mike Patterson coming in from Santa Maria, man. How you guys doing up there?
Moxie Mike, how you doing, buddy? What's the weather like down there in California?
It's a blistering 75 degrees with not a cloud in the sky.
Caller, are you there?
I'm there. Did you hear me?
Unfortunately, I think you said it was cloudy and rainy.
Yeah, not a cloud in the sky, 75 degrees.
Oh, come on.
Perfect weather as always.
Why you got to do that to me, bud?
Because I can.
Oh, geez. So what's going on down in your world, Mike?
There's some changes going on down here in the area. First off, Santa Maria Raceway has a new owner.
Really?
The gentleman, Nick Duggan, he came in last year as a partner and learned the ropes. He is now taking over this year, so hopefully things will improve at that track. And yeah, I know the gentleman personally. He also owns one of the local water parks over here, so he's definitely into the entertainment aspect. So hopefully he'll bring some of that knowledge to the racetrack to try to entertain the people at Santa Maria Raceway.
Now, if you could combine the two, think of that. A racetrack.
So that's always
park.
A good thing. But there's even bigger news going on in the Central Valley.
The Central Valley. Now us up here in Oregon, all we know is there's two regions in California. There's California, and then there's Disneyland. So you got to dumb it down for us, buddy.
Well, Central Valley, that's going to be Bakersfield, Hanford, everything that's not on the coast.
Okay. What's going on in the Central Valley?
Central Valley this year, most of you guys probably know by now, KCRP, Kern County Raceway Park, their dirt track. They reconfigured it late last season, widened it through 1 and 2 to make it a lot less like a paperclip, more like a Martinsville type of track where it's a little bit smaller on turn 1 and 2 than 3 and 4.
Uh-huh.
So they did some work on that. They leveled it out a little bit better, so the banking into the turns is more consistent.
Okay.
Piker and those guys did a real good job out there making that happen. So that's going to be a fun one. Also, Bakersfield Karting Experience. Remember that we went to this year?
Oh yeah, where that little 7-year-old wiped our noses in the dirt.
Oh yeah, that little 7-year-old with the big old grin from ear to ear as he's driving by us and waving at us.
Yeah,
like we were tied to a pole.
Well, that's okay. We had somebody to follow.
Yeah. They've started opening where they're going to have kart races where you can bring your kart to the track.
No way.
They did the QRC Outlaw karts there this year already. They've done a couple of those, and they've been running those. They're also running mini dwarf class, and for those up in the north that don't know what a mini dwarf is, take a go-kart, put front suspension on it, put a cage on it, put a 6.5 horsepower Honda motor in it, and make it look like a dwarf car. That's a mini dwarf.
No way. So
oh yeah, it's an absolute blast to watch those, and the kids ages 5 to 13 drive those.
Right on. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, they're opening that up, and getting to Bakersfield area, Bakersfield Speedway in Oildale.
Uh-huh.
They've got new things going on at that track this year.
Wait.
We've been there a few times.
We've only been there. I've only been there once. Dom's only been there once. Corey's basically a Californian because of how many times he's been there. But
don't tell them that, because then they'll start charging them the taxes that we have to down here.
Okay, never mind. Corey is not a Californian.
Yeah.
There you go.
But what's going
he just
on?
Comes and visits.
What's going on out in Oildale?
Well, Scott Schweitzer and his team is always out to bring the best possible presentation of racing to the fans. And this year he is dipped into the Moxie Media Group and wants to bring us.
Hello?
You still there?
I'm here. You there?
Okay. It sounded like something shut off for a second.
No,
but yeah.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Scott's been digging into Moxie Media, picking our brains the past few years. This year, he wants us to be more proactive at his track. And by we, I mean me. He's asked me this year to come over and join the broadcast crew there.
Right on.
For the entire race season. I'll be out there every race that they want me there. I'll be out there announcing with the crew that's there. And I'll be going throughout the early days before the races, early Saturdays, going out to some of the sponsors in that area, doing live broadcasts on Spreaker Radio for Moxie Media as well as the racetrack to promote the upcoming races that are going to be that night as well.
That's
going to be fun.
A huge deal, Mike. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, it's a deal that's been in the works for a couple years now. Scott's been, asking me to come over, but things haven't quite worked out, the way to make it work for both groups. And this year, everything kind of worked out and made it happen. So we inked the deal, and it's good to go. And I'm going to be out there starting March 3rd.
March 3rd. Now we sat there, and you guys have driver registration this weekend and their awards banquet. And we've talked about that already, but March 3rd is your guys' opening night with sprints and hobby stocks and American stocks and sport mods, right?
Yep, we're going to have quite a few classes the first night out there. Then later on in the month, we're actually having the World of Outlaws coming out. So it's going to be really interesting, as I know you guys were talking about the World of Outlaws